Hey everybody, wanted to take a few minutes to give you an update and let you know what's going on now that I'm back with the ministry. Been back for a little while now, so sorry it's taken me a bit to get this update out. And just share with you some of the things God showed me while I was on leave from the ministry and some of the changes that He showed me to make. So one of the things that I shared with the board when I met with them a few months ago when I started back with the ministry, I guess it was like about 2 months ago, it was in June, was that God showed me that while I have skills as a leader and while I can function in a leadership position, I don't thrive in a leadership position because it really drains me and it's just not where I function well, and where I'm most healthy. So I made the decision to step down from being vice president of our board, and I'll be having very little to do with the leadership of the ministry, because I've just come to realize that leadership is just something that's too draining for me. I also realized that being involved with anything with the financial aspect of the ministry was too emotionally draining for me. It's okay when things are going well, but the ministry struggled a lot last year financially, and it was a big struggle for me. And it's just something that when I have that stress on me, it just doesn't function well. And I don't function well. So I have stepped down from doing anything with finances for the ministry, except for occasionally I'll be involved with fundraisers for the ministry. And I think those are all the things that I've stepped down from. I am not going to be a part of the team meetings with us, with the team here in the US and the team in Guatemala. So those are the team leadership meetings that I'm not going to be a part of anymore. We have other meetings with the team that I am still going to be a part of, which I'll get into in a little bit. So the things that God has shown me that are the areas where I should be serving in the ministry is I'm going to continue to lead our prayer team and organize our monthly prayer emails that go out and our monthly prayer meeting and the intermittent prayer requests and praises that we send out for ourselves and the ministry to our prayer team. So I'll still be in charge of doing all of that. I'm also going to be in charge of just engagement with new supporters or current supporters of the ministry and of us, and just focusing on spending time with them and answering any questions that they have about the ministry, informing new donors of how things work with the ministry, informing new prayer partners of how they can stay up to date with things with the ministry. So different things like that. I'm also going to continue to be the family/sponsor relationship facilitator. So I will be continuing to facilitate the relationships between families in Guatemala and the families that support them here from the US. So when people go down and on teams and want to connect with their family, I'll help with coordinating that. I'll help with any communication back and forth between the families there and the families here. So if you ever want to connect with your family or anyone you know in Guatemala and need some help with translation, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to do that, and it's a part of my job that I love. I'm still going to be doing the prayer meetings with our team in Guatemala, and connecting with them in that way. I'm also going to be doing some mentorship for some team members in Guatemala as they feel the need for that. And I'm going to be going on church visits with Dylan, but I won't be sharing in front of the congregation. That's something else that I've come to realize that really just drains me and is not an area where I thrive when I'm doing it. And so I'm going to be the person who connects with people after the presentations and just connects with people on a more personal level, which is something that just works much better for how God has wired me. And I think I already said that I'm going to be helping out with fundraisers as needed. And I will be, as we look at my schedule and the needs, I may be helping Dylan out with some of the administrative duties that he's been doing, such as the family updates that go out and any other things that we may look at. But the reason we're not starting off with that yet is because I'm only part-time with the ministry. And the reason for that is I'm also working part-time at the counseling office. So that is in an effort to continue to help Dylan and I to make ends meet so that we can stay here in the U.S. and support the ministry in the ways that God has called us to now that we're here in the U.S. And it also will provide a little more breathing room in our budget in case there are times like last year when the ministry was really struggling, and we were able to help out a good bit because of that extra job that I have. So I'll be doing that, and also while I'm working those hours are counting towards licensure for the counseling office. So I'll be learning and growing in my counseling degree, and the vision that God has given us is one day as the ministry grows and we are able to help other missionaries go out into the fields that God has called them to, I'll be able to be a part of member care through helping people, individuals and couples and families with counseling and self-care and maybe premarital counseling or any of those kinds of needs. So that's a little overview of the things I'll be doing now and what God is what God has for us as we're looking forward to the future. I also just want to let you all know that while it was really hard for me to take a leave from the ministry, it was also a really good thing. And so I just want to encourage any of you, if you're struggling with anything, or there ever comes a time in your life where you might need to take some time away from something and God guides you to that, don't hesitate to do it. When I took a leave from the ministry, I didn't want to do it, but I knew I needed to for my physical and mental and emotional health. And I was able to get some things taken care of that have been going on with my physical health, and I'm still dealing with those, but I'm making some progress. So appreciate your continued prayers around that. And I was able to do a lot of work and a lot of healing in my mental health, just surrounding the grief that I've been struggling with since leaving Guatemala, and some other things that were going on there. So it was hard to do, but it was a very good choice, and I'm glad that I did it. So I just want to say thank you to all of you who reached out, who encouraged me, who checked in on me, and just the way you guys supported me and us through it. It was a big blessing. I felt very loved and cared for, and I just thank you guys so much. So if there's anything that I haven't covered or anything that wasn't clear or any questions that you have, feel free to reach out. And I hope you all have a good one.